today, we are on our way to the original Egyptian museum that opened in 1902, housed in a salmon pink building right in the heart of Tahrir Square. Upon entering, one of the first things you're going to see is a glass display case with a slate palette in it. Now, a lot of people are going to walk right by that, but walk by that you should not. This 2-foot-tall, rather innocuous slate palette is one of the oldest known historical documents in the world, and it is arguably the most important relic in the entire museum. Around 3200 BCE, Upper and Lower Egypt are run by 2 independent kings. It becomes unified when a king from the south conquers the north, and his name was Narmer. He is the first pharaoh. This palette tells of the unification of Egypt. In it, the king is holding a mace in one hand and in the other, the head of an enemy. It is a symbol of strength and power that will be replicated in Egyptian art for 3,000 years. A little further along, you'll find the oldest life-size statue ever found in Egypt depicting King Djoser. It was Djoser that commissioned the building of a revolutionary type of construction in Egypt, the pyramid. He and his architect Imhotep built Egypt's first pyramid, the Step Pyramid in Saqqara. He was followed a few generations later by this pharaoh named Khufu. Khufu was the builder of the Great Pyramid of Giza. Ironically, this minuscule ivory carving standing only about 3 inches tall is the only known statue of the pharaoh that built the last standing great wonder of the ancient world. Right behind Khufu, you'll find a full-sized statue of his son, Khafre. It was Khafre that built the second, slightly smaller pyramid at Giza. He's depicted here with the god Horus portrayed as a falcon wrapped around his head in a gesture of protection. Now, it's a little hard to tell because he has a nose here, but you might actually recognize Khafre's face from another little depiction of him, the face on the Sphinx. But it's not just portrayals of pharaohs you'll find here. You can also discover depictions of other ancient Egyptians, like this haunting wooden statue of a priest named Ka'apar, and several statues of other revered figures like the seated scribes, each with an unrolled scroll of papyrus on their laps. The papyrus room displays some ancient tools of the trade. It would be hard to overstate the importance of papyrus in ancient Egypt, and its most important function was that of a writing surface. It was used to record histories, administrative documents, legal works, and religious texts like this, the famous Egyptian Book of the Dead. This served as a map and guidebook to the afterlife, including all the spells that one could need in death, and it provided instructions for the trials one could face, including the test to determine worthiness, the weighing of the heart. For now, there are a few of King Tut's items still on display here, like this recognizable statue of Anubis. This ornate golden box, decorated with painted cobras and surrounded by 4 female deities, is a canopic shrine. Inside of this box were these alabaster canopic jars. Their mission? To preserve the king's mummified organs. This golden chair is the throne of King Tut. It depicts the boy king himself in an intimate setting sitting and talking to his wife. The world-famous burial mask of King Tut is also currently here, but no cameras allowed. The Egyptian Museum opened in 1902, and 20 years later, almost to the day, King Tut's tomb was found and excavated by Howard Carter, effectively doubling the size of the museum's collection overnight. Many Egyptians jokingly refer to the current Egyptian museum as the Egyptian storage closet. Mummies, statues, relics, and sarcophagi all vie for space in this overcrowded museum. How do you display 5,000 years of history in one location? You can't. Therefore, as I've said, a great portion of these items that are currently housed here will eventually be moving to the Grand Egyptian Museum, including all of King Tut's treasures. Most of these mummies will be transferred to the National Museum of Egyptian Civilization. While this process is happening, there are currently a lot of empty cases. So, what is to become of this current Egyptian museum? Well, there are definitely some plans in the works. It's currently undergoing renovations, and it will continue to house a collection of artifacts. And while this 120-year-old museum doesn't offer any modern amenities like air conditioning, and is definitely beginning to show its age with some wear and tear, it's sort of nostalgic in itself, with its marbled railings and wooden cases. With its prime location right in the heart of Cairo, it won't be going anywhere anytime soon. And I, for one, am excited to see what they make of this space in the coming years.